And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Everybody who's traded has gone through periods of time where their strategy hasn't worked.
Where if not a hard stop, you should reevaluate the trades you're in based on time.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. A trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
Good morning and welcome everyone to the Market Prep. It is the 3rd of January. This is the first episode, if you will, of the year. My name is John. Thanks for trusting me with your time as always. It's good to see everybody. It's good to be back. It is good to be back involved in the markets. It's been hopefully a wonderful holiday season for you. I hope you took some time off, did some reflection, did some preparation, and you're ready for the new year. It always feels fresh, even after 30 years of trading. Every year when we get this new start in the new year, it always seems fresh. And hopefully we are going to have an excellent year in trading. You may have noticed we're starting to call it the market prep. We're going kind of getting away from the forecast thing because nobody's really capable of forecasting anything. All we can do is make sure that we are prepared for the trading day, and that's why we are calling this the prep. We are also changing the recap to the reflection, the market reflection. We're going to take a look at what happened during the day. Always useful to look back and see what we have seen throughout the day, and looking forward to what we may see tomorrow. So glad to see everybody here. Happy New Year. Make Hogue Money and group coaching start again. Today we have Make Hogue Money. Here's the link to the Zoom meeting, so you can get into the Zoom meeting if you want. Of course, you'll be able to watch it on YouTube. We also have group coaching, which is beginning tomorrow again. Here is the link for group coaching, so you'll be able to get into all of those. They are new links for the new year, so those links should remain solid through November of this year. 11 months from now, we'll be looking at new links. So what do we have going on? Well, as far as economic information today, we have at 8:45 the PMI manufacturing final, and at 9 o'clock consumer spending. As for the rest of the week, we do have some information that's going to be useful for us as traders, I'm sure. The ISM Manufacturing Index is tomorrow, as well as the FOMC minutes and job openings and labor turnover survey. Thursday, we have the ADP Employment Report, International Trade in Goods and Services, jobless claims as usual on Thursday, nat gas, and then after that, the petroleum status report, the crude numbers on Thursday due to the holiday on Monday. Friday, the unemployment numbers due out. That's what everybody is starting to already kind of focus on in the markets, I'm sure. And starting, I guess, on Wednesday into Thursday, some of our talking Feds will begin chirping again. Raphael Bostic speaks at 8:20 on Thursday. Bullard, 12:20 on Thursday. And then, of course, we have 3 or 4 of them speaking on Friday. We'll, of course, keep you abreast of all that on a day-to-day basis. And we will see what these markets are providing. As always, it is such a pleasure to be back with everyone. Taking a look at the VIX this morning, up about 7%, 23.15. We've got the markets higher this morning. We got the dollar index up 104.5, well, at 104.5, up 1%. And the yield on the 10-year slightly lower, but higher overall at 3.77%. So U.S. stocks are set to open this year higher, retreating off a gap to the open on the open yesterday, possibly aided by potential good news of easing inflation in Germany and in Europe. The U.S. dollar jumps on that euro inflation data as gold tests 6-month highs. It's going to be an interesting trading day, I think, in gold today. Crude prices hovering near $80 as Chinese demand remains the big question. Lower Treasury yields create a potential upside gap in the 10-year pricing. So we're going to see all of these things in the charts here very shortly. As always, I ask that you hit the lucky like button. Share, comment, question, feedback, heckling, and love are always welcome. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get notified when we do go live. Okay, yeah, I guess I maybe screwed up the time for Make Hogue Money. It's going to be at 8:20 this morning, 8:20 right after the market fork or the market prep. Got to remember to say market prep now. So yeah, right at 8:20, I'll just start it up and hopefully everybody will find their way in. I'll change that just after the market prep here this morning. But again, it's good to see everyone. Caprice, first in the room, you win the prize. Scott saw and you conquered. Spencer, it's good to see everyone. Yes, it would make us all very happy to see everybody crush all their goals in 2023. Most of those goals for me are going to be process and strategy driven. Charles March, good morning. ZK, Dan Trader. ZK's been bored waiting for the sessions to start back up. Well, here we are. We're starting back up, and it's going to be a good year. My brother Rick is with us this morning. Love you, buddy. Caesar, good morning. Happy New Year to you as well. Serenity Trader, Happy New Year to you as well. JD, it's good to see you this morning. Jay, good to see you. Ron Merlot, good to see you this morning. You stay classy. Bill Phillips, good morning. Terry King, Sonny, good morning. Sarah Hall, prayers and love to you as well. Jules, good morning. Rusty Golfer, Serenity Trader, the usual suspects are all checking in. It's kind of funny. I tried to use that, the usual suspects, as a band name back in the day. It was voted against, but I liked that for a band name, the usual suspects. Vince, my guy, it's good to see you this morning. JD, Frank S. Frank, good to see you. Sarah Hall, it's good to be back with everybody. Dimitar, Laura, good to see you. Shaw, happy 2023, everybody. JM, JD, reset, there's risk management. New Year, everyone's reset their risk management. Yep. Rob T, good morning. Brody, JT, good morning. Eric B, Sonny. The new year is a blank canvas filled with endless potential and endless opportunities. Embrace it with open arms and a fearless spirit and create the life you truly desire. Every day we try and make that step closer to doing that, Sonny. Great thoughts. Rusty Golfer, happy birthday. Eric, happy birthday, Eric. Where did I miss that? Oh, happy birthday. My birthday today. Hey, happy birthday, Eric. Sorry I did miss that. Eric, good to see you. Alejandro, JD, says 8 a.m., 8 p.m. on the Make Hogue Money. It's 8:20 a.m. Well, I'll check into that again. Backer Sultan, happy New Year to you. Denise, good to see you. Sunkite, good morning. Waiting on premium account. Can't wait to roll into the new year with my new account. ZK, looking forward to hearing your continued success. First gremlin of the new year. Yeah, that gremlin happened to be me, Dan. Bonjour from Canada. Natalie, nice to see you. Stephen, Leahona, good morning. Happy New Year to you as well. ZK, hi to Lassie as well. Missy is, Lacey's around here somewhere. Mom's still home. She's off for the rest of this week too. So before she goes back to work, and then it'll just be me and Lacey, me and my office buddy here. I'm going to be moving my office to a different room in the house. Hopefully that's going to happen within the first couple of months of this year. Looking forward to having that, and maybe perhaps even a new look for the market prep and the market reflection. All right. Enough of that. We've got markets to check out. We've got things to do today. Let's jump in and take a look at the E-mini S&P on the daily chart to begin with. All righty. 3,800, big fat round number, supportive last week. A lot of folks kind of focusing on that number, that 3,800 big fat round number. We've kind of fallen into, in the S&Ps at the very least, an area of balance. Well, Haggle Matters is good to see you. Phil, good to see you. So we got an area of balance here. 3,800 is the lower extreme, kind of looking above last week's high up here at about 39.15, 39.20 is the upper extreme of this area of balance. One thing that we see here is in short time frame, we haven't really succeeded in getting to the low target for our head and shoulders here. We've found support short of that. Now it looks like we've got a little bit of a reversal pattern here and a potential bullish engulfing pattern, if you want to call it that. And we're seeing the market kind of pushing higher now. Decent volume on Friday for a holiday week. We did add 18,000 in open interest on Friday. Today is January 3rd. We started the market closed on the first, the second, because of the assumed holiday. So here we start with January 3rd. Looking like we're going to be opening with a gap. There's a couple other features in the profile from Friday that we're gonna have to take a look at here. Here's the big gap open yesterday. A big gap was closed right away. We did kind of come into the yesterday's range, or Friday's range and value. If we're holding any overnight inventory, I'd have to say it's to the long side, and we're going to be creating a day session gap on the open this morning. So if we remember the gap rules, if we open with a gap and can't close the gap relatively early, we try and look for opportunities in the direction of the gap, which would have us looking for opportunities to the long side. The long side. All right, so here we've got the gap, looking for possible opportunities to the long side. Please join me for Make Hogue Money. We can vote on some of these opportunities, see if we can't make me a little bit of money this morning. Here's the TPO chart. Here's where it gets interesting. Well, let's go with this one, because this is regular trading hour session only. On Friday, we put in a late spike. Okay, well, what's the rule with the late spike? If we open in or above the late spike, mostly above the late spike, it's the highest possibility or probability of acceptance of higher pricing. Well, look where we're trading now. We're trading 38.85.50. We are going to probably be opening above the late spike, which has us looking for opportunities for longs. Okay, so that's a gap and a late spike. If we can't close that gap, or if we can't re-accept inside the range of value from Friday, we're looking for opportunities for longs. The base of this late spike takes us all the way back down to 38.54 quarter. That's the base. That's where the market broke out and continued its push to the upside. The start of the late spike is all the way down here. It's 38.39 quarter. Our overnight low is between those two. Supportive area here. If we can't re-accept inside value, we're going to continue to look for opportunities to look for longs. If we even get the opportunity for price to come back down here. We are, again, potentially holding possible overnight longs, not looking like it's a huge inventory. We started here. We're actually lower than where we started. We had to push down, push up. Now we're just kind of hanging. I'm not really looking for opportunities based on overnight inventory early in the session here. We are going to be opening out of range and out of balance from Friday. The opening range is a possibility. Again, we'll see that in Make Hogue Money if we're going to be taking it or not. So again, late spike, opening above that, acceptance of higher pricing. Gap open, no gap close, acceptance of higher pricing. What about crude oil? Okay, crude oil. We've put in some relatively decent upside structure here. That $70 floor that we called before the holidays here, that was actually, I think, pretty much called by the White House, remains our lows, at least for the time being, right? So we've got some pretty decent upside structure. The longer time frame structure still remains lower. We're still putting in lower highs, lower lows overall. So The bigger picture says price could be going lower. If we can take out this weekly kickoff high and accept above it, I think that breaks that longer time frame structure. We've got some work to do before that. Well, what I'm asking is, well, if we are going to be moving higher, how good is the market doing in that direction? We put in the low here. We got a pullback. We've got an area of balance here. We're creating an area of balance that overlaps the previous area of balance. That's not necessarily all that good. Yeah, on Friday we added 10,000 in open interest, but we couldn't take out the weekly high. Couldn't take out the weekly high last night. Take a look at this on the 30-minute chart. So there's last week's high. Where do we open here? Right here. Are we holding some overnight shorts here? If we are, then a move back towards settlement might be in the cards here, but we're opening in range and in value. We also have a late spike at the end of the day on Friday. The market pushed higher. Looks like we've opened below the base of the late spike. It looks like we're testing the start of the late spike, which is 79.25. There's a lot of there's an anomaly here, which is basically settlement. I'm sorry, the TPO point of control here. We have excess at the low. We have excess now at the high. We've opened below it. We seem to be rejecting the late spike. That's not necessarily good for acceptance of higher pricing. So we did open in range and largely in value. I'm going to try and stay patient, looking for opportunities as the day goes on in crude oil this morning. Take a look at the Nasdaq now. Here's the daily. All right. Similar but different to the S&Ps, right? The S&Ps, we've got a much more of a balanced look to it here. This looks like we've pushed lower. We've got a bullish pattern here, almost in a bullish engulfing pattern. The Nasdaq, we reached our target for this head and shoulders. Shoulder, head, shoulder, target. We reached it the end of last week or the middle of last week. So now we've got a reversal pattern. Is this market going to continue to push higher? Who knows? We're just going to prepare for these types of things. Last week's low supportive. It's weekly kickoff low now. A weekly kickoff high is 11,330. We've got some space above last week's high. Last week's high going to be somewhat pivotal for us. Here's the 30-minute chart. Okay, no check of the naked point of control here. Here's our weekly kickoff low, last week's low, basically. We do have a late spike. Again, the late spike. That's telling us if we open above it, we're accepting higher prices. We're opening with a gap. Do we have overnight inventory? Not really. Not really. We don't have any overnight inventory. So the nuances are saying in the S&P and the Nasdaq that we're looking for opportunities to buy weakness. We've got one sign, we're opening with a gap. We can't close the gap. We're looking for opportunities to go with the direction of the gap, which would have us looking for longs. We have a late spike. That late spike is also telling us when we open above it that the market is attempting to accept higher pricing and we're looking for opportunities to buy weakness. It doesn't mean that the market can't come all the way back down to the base of the late spike, which in the Nasdaq is 10,972, where the late spike began. Here's the TPO chart. So here's where the base of the late spike began, 972. Here's the start of the late spike, in essence, basically point of control from Friday. Here's our low. So again, the overnight low between the point of control and the start of the late spike and the base of the late spike. Well, I mean, it really doesn't matter as long as the price doesn't get back down to that level. We're opening with a gap. We're opening above the base of the late spike. It is telling us we're looking at a potential acceptance of higher pricing. Again, as usual, as we always see here on the market forecast, ACH anything can happen. What we're looking at is what the nuances, what the market is trying to tell us, what it's trying to do. Are we going to succeed in continuing that move? Relatively low excess low here from last Wednesday. Low volume also in that period of time. So take a look at gold now. Gold is really attempting to continue a grind to the upside market state here. Finally showing some signs of possible acceptance above this 1831 weekly kickoff high level that's been there for 3 weeks, maybe even longer. How good is it doing against a stronger U.S. dollar? Well, I'd say it's actually doing pretty well. When we look at the euro, you're going to see what the stronger dollar has done to the euro, with gold looking at 6-month highs. How is this market performing? Well, 1,900 additional contracts created on Friday. Look at the volume today already on a continuation to the upside. Take a look at the 30-minute chart. Again, gap rules. We've opened with a gap. If we can't close the gap relatively early, it has us looking for opportunities to buy weakness. Where is the correct weakness? Well, we've got a little consolidation here that gave us a support level early in the session before the open. Here's where we opened. Here's where we are now. We're probably holding some overnight longs here. Is there any help from the TPO charts? Look at Friday's low. Weak. Anomalies. Holes. Anomalies. This is not a very confident market to the upside on Friday, though the market did perform relatively well. It didn't close above that 1831 weekly kickoff high. It tried. It did not succeed. And again, the weak low and the anomalies and holes here aren't indicative of a confident market to the upside. Weak low here. A little bit of excess here. Excess. So here's the range so far for the regular trading hour session from 7:30 on. Market really just kind of holding here. What's it? It's looking for continuation. It's looking for new business to come in and continue to buy this market. With the dollar higher, I think it's going to struggle today. Now look at the euro. That strong dollar has really knocked it for a loop. It's attempting to change market states from range bound really to a downside move. So that strong U.S. dollar, looking at this earlier, we were below weekly kickoff low. It's really where, if we can accept below it, that puts a new leg to the downside. If we can't, then we can continue to range or eventually continue this move to the upside. On Friday, on this push to the upside, we lost 3,200 in open interest. That's not necessarily indicative of a strong upside auction. That is a feeble attempt on lower open interest. Weekly kickoff low 10600. Gap rules. So looking at this morning, we were kind of looking at a potential resistance level here at the weekly kickoff level. The market wasn't open yet. It's opened back above that level. So I'm going to look at this weekly kickoff low as a potential support level. We do have overnight inventory to the short side. So what are we looking at? Well, we've opened with a gap. We've got a long way to go before we close that gap. I think we've got a naked point of control from the past here. We can't see it on here, but it's on here. We haven't traded back to that in regular trading hours, so that becomes a visual target. It's going to be kind of a tough trading day, I think, here in the euro. We're going to look and see if there's opportunities after the first hour, after the initial balance has established itself. But I'm afraid that we may have kind of missed our opportunity to participate in this downside move. This all happened at 2 o'clock as the European markets opened, and we got some information from Germany on how things are going with their inflation. Take a look at the 10-year. So we get a little boost in the little drop in the yield on the 10-year. We're getting a nice little boost. We got 3 days of balance with a breakout above an area of balance. We're looking for opportunities to buy weakness here. We lost 6,800 in open interest on an attempted extension to the downside that failed. This is a potential new continuation to the upside on this breakout of this 3-day balance. Last week's high looks interesting to me. Take a look at the 30. So opening, overnight inventory long, gap open, no attempt to close the gap. Again, it has me looking for opportunities to buy weakness, and there's lots of visual targets above here. Look at this on the TPO chart. Okay, so this move to the downside was relatively unorganized. Look at all the naked points of control we have above price here. I mean, technically, there's 1 or 2 below price. We finally have a degree of excess on this low. We've been leaving weak lows here on this move to the downside. This is a small degree of excess on Friday. It's only 2 TPOs, but still that remains as excess. And we've got this move to the upside. No real attempt to close the gap. I'm looking for opportunities to buy weakness here. Now, I was going to leave this off, the natural gas, but really an interesting opportunity, a weekly kickoff low. $4 is weekly kickoff low. This market continues to push lower. I mean, even with everything that's going on and cold and all that, I mean, the price just continues to go lower. It's just eating alongs. We added 1,000 in open interest on Friday. How did I do this? So there's weekly kickoff low. I mean, we're right at it. This is a pretty decent opportunity, if only because it allows me to limit risk. So far, finding support. Look at how short this market is in the overnight inventory. TPOs, weak lows, weak lows. We could easily leave some excess down here and see a pushback to the upside. But again, with the gap, if we can't close the gap relatively early, that has us looking for opportunities to sell strength in this market. It looks to me, and just looks to me, like it's getting pretty cheap. Who knows? All right. Hey, Glitter Sandwich, it's good to be back. It's good to see you as well, Sniper Scalper. Gonna rip today. The weekly kickoff levels are available. We did email them out. Hopefully you were able to get them. If you did not see them in your inbox, check the spam folder. But if you're looking for the weekly kickoff levels in the S&Ps, it's 3990 on the upside and 3800 on the downside. George, good to see you. Vince, yes. Let's do that. Let's rock 2023. All right. Let's take our deep breath. Let's be ready for the trading day. I am going to stay humble, grateful, and creative today. It's the first day of the year, my first day of my trading year. Going to just be patient and look for the right opportunities. Looking forward to seeing everybody at Make Hogue Money. Again, tomorrow we'll do the late Make Hogue Money right after the group coaching session as usual on Wednesdays. And welcome to the new Market Prep. We're looking forward to seeing you at the Coach's Playbook. Pretty sure we're going to be doing a Coach's Playbook today, and then we'll be doing the market reflection at 3 o'clock today. Looking forward to spending some time and seeing how the markets are treating you. Get out there and profit today. Again, looking forward to seeing you at Make Hogue Money, and we'll see if we can't make a few bucks for me this morning. Have a great trading day. Welcome back, everyone. Let's make it a great year. Trade well.